What is up, everybody? I am here with the homies, MMAFoo and Red Wolf MMA. What's up,
What's happening? We good?
bro? I am pretty lit up right now, actually. Pretty stoned. Bro,
Hey,
we
well,
gotta hear how London went.
oh, bro, whoa. I've only just got over the hangover. Put it that way. That was my head is still a bit sore, but man, that was one hell of a week, man. I'm still buzzing from it. I wish I was back there. I changed my background because I wish I was back there. And for a Manchester lad to say that London was all right, that means something went well. Do you know what I mean? It was great, man. It was great. Met a load of people. Hung out with some great guys and girls. Yeah, man. It was sick. It was sick.
What was your favorite part?
Fuck. Uh,
Was it
Too
the
many to mention,
DJ?
but the one that stands out the most is the after party.
Okay.
We were just hanging and drinking with, Kevin Holland was there. Paddy was there, Bob Perez, Kevin Holland's Muay Thai coach, Derek Lewis's Muay Thai coach as well. And he's introduced me to tequila. I'd never had tequila before.
Ooh.
Oh
And
man,
yeah, I was
Woo!
like,
Yeah, now you're a real
there's a
homie.
video,
Now you're a
there's a
real
video
homie.
on my Twitter taking shots, man. Jose Cuervo, and man, that was when things started going wrong or right, depending on which way you look at it. But yeah, man, it was a good night. It was a good
Oh
week.
man, I got a whole story on tequila in Germany when I was 16, but that's for a whole nother show. What was the worst part that you experienced? It had to
First,
be, I mean, it had to be the Leon Edwards submission, right?
that was painful.
And
That
like
was
people were
painful.
leaving the arena by round three.
Yeah, man. I saw people getting up, and I was going boo at them. Fuck you. Casuals. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're here, you're going through this pain with me. Don't you be walking out. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it's hats off to Sean Brady. Well done. Hell of a performance.
He dominated for
Um,
sure.
dominated. Yeah. So that was gutting. I was gutted. You know, Molly McCann retired. Can we get a Molly Shank Von? We said
Oh, Molly
Molly
McCann.
McCann.
Oh,
Oh,
Molly
Molly
McCann.
McCann.
Yeah, she's a dope
Yeah,
fighter, bro. I was sort of sad to see her retire. I mean, I sort of called it, but that's not a
yeah,
call out that you feel good about. Um,
yeah,
she was an entertaining fighter. She did a lot for women's MMA sports, certainly a lot for women's UK MMA.
yeah.
So hats off to her. She could be a future UFC Hall of Famer just for the pioneering work that she did for women's uh, UK
Yeah.
MMA.
I,
So
I don't think we've seen the last
hats
of her
off to
either.
her.
I think she'll do like a lot when the UFC come to the UK. She'll be a good promoter. Do you know what I mean?
Most definitely. Most definitely. Well, we go from London to Mexico. Oh, ese.
Viva Mexico!
Viva Mexico. We got UFC Mexico City this weekend. Brandon Royval versus Steve Erceg. We are going to go through the
Brandon
prelims.
Moreno,
What did I say?
Roy Val.
Oh, shit. See, I told you my Spanish. Brandon Moreno versus Steve Erceg. Yeah, but we're going to break down the prelims on this one. Lit. So we
And
start
I
off
thought I was hungover.
we start off with Markel Medeiros versus Austin Hubbard on this one. Um, I mean, we got basically an up and comer in the UFC versus a guy that's been through the ringer in the UFC, cut, brought back in again, and reminds me of like that cat, like just hanging on by like one little claw on that like rope and ready to fall off. I feel like that's Austin Hubbard. What you
Mm,
got, fool? We haven't heard from your ass the whole time.
yeah, so
here listening, man. just taking it all in, you know. I'm on this is it was hard for me to pick, man. I mean, I'm not really too much invested in this fight, but if I had to pick, I'd probably pick Madero's fight decision, you know. Just because he's a younger guy and I feel like he might be more hungrier.
Madero's by decision. What about you, fool?
Uh, but yeah, so I mean, Hubbard, like you say, usually the way I go. I pick experience over youth, but in this case, I think you've got the hungrier guy, Medeiros, and like you say, Hubbard's hanging on by a thread. He could be on his way to maybe calling it a day. And Medeiros, 9-1. He's very exciting to watch. And I think we might be seeing a finish in this. I think Medeiros could open the card with a bang here.
That'd be nice. I
Uh,
mean, it's Austin Hubbard's pretty durable. He's never
mm,
been knocked out. Basically, his Achilles heel is getting submitted or losing by decision. But he typically, doesn't get knocked out. And Markel Madero's path to victory, I think is a knockout or decision. I'm just like, I think Austin Hubbard's on his way out. I think Madero's is the new guy in. Um, I'm going to take Madero's either round two KO or a decision victory. But,
mm,
this might be Austin Hubbard's last fight in the UFC.
yeah, yeah. I think you might be right there, man. Might be right.
Next up, we got Jamal Emmers versus Gabriel Miranda. Miranda's last fight was versus Morgan Charrier, and Charrier starched his ass in round two, bro. Um,
They're both coming off they both got KO'd their last fight, I think.
did they? Let's see.
Emirates by Nate the Train Landwinder.
Poland way.
Oh, yes.
So they're
Yeah.
both coming off a
But
fucking KO.
is Nate Landwehr, I mean, his striking is, I think, more dangerous than Gabriel Miranda's
Oh,
striking.
100%.
Miranda is really going to just go for the submission, right? He's going to shoot in, try to take Emmers down and submit him. So I feel like Charrier exposed Miranda's chin. I think Emmers um, will be able to probably knock Miranda out. My Monte Carlo Sims had this one 50-50, and it actually picked Miranda to win by submission round two. But I don't think his chin's going to hold up to Emmers' range, athleticism, and I mean he does have some KO pop.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
Emmons
not a
is a dog.
lot, but not a
Emmons
lot,
is a
but
dog. He's got power in those fists. You know what I mean? So when Morgan Cherie's already rocked Miranda's chin. And yeah, shout out Nathaniel Wood. Um, that was a good fight. But yeah, I think I'm going with you boys. I think Emma's might get. I don't know. I don't want to say round one. Maybe round two. You know, but like you say, Miranda could also flip the scripts. He could shoot. He could get the takedown. He could, you know, stay on top and try and chase that submission. So is it like you say? It's an interesting fight, and I can understand 50-50. I kind of agree with that one. I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes. It might not go to the judges. That's what I
yeah,
think.
I don't see it going to the judges. I just don't think Miranda's chin's going to hold up, and if it's either going to be a submission or a knockout. And that's the
Mm,
thing for this card in general. I think that's a theme that I found with my picks is that there are going to be over six finishes. And I think we talked about this in the first video that we did, Fool. Um, but I really do feel confident that there's going to be over six finishes. I think there's going to be over eight finishes, not necessarily all knockouts. Not everybody's a knockout artist on this card. We got some submission specialists, but I think there's just going to be like two or three fights that are going to go to decision. One is super obvious that we're going to be touching on a little earlier or a little later, but yeah, I think this is either going to be a Jamal Emmers KO or a Gabriel Miranda submission, but I'm leaning KO Emmers.
mm-hmm. Yeah, me
Yeah, I'm
too.
rocking. I'm rocking with Emirates KO.
Next up, we have Rafa Garcia versus Vince Pichel, we were just talking earlier. Vince Pichel's like Cub Swanson's bad influence uncle.
Yeah,
Gets
man.
into trouble
That's
everywhere,
not.
man.
That's one of the OG gangbangers that gets the nephew into their life. You know what I'm saying? He looks like a badass.
He looks like a badass, and they put him with some badasses too. His last fight,
Yeah,
he took Ishmael Bonfim to 3 rounds. He lost by unanimous decision, but it showed
yeah.
some durability. He went 3 rounds with Marco Madsen, a submission specialist. Uh,
A lot of people
Ethan
wrote him off
Miller,
in the Bonfim. Yeah,
you,
the
you
Bonfim
know,
fight. A lot of people just wrote him off straight away. They were just like, "Yeah,
yeah,
Bonfim's got
bro.
this." You know what I mean?
Yeah, that was and I think a lot of bets were busted on that one because people had that to be finished inside the distance, bombed
Hmm.
by KO. And then they see this fucking 41-year-old man hanging with him. I think stock went down for Bonfim. Some stock went up for Pichel, but
Yeah.
did enough come up, to overcome Rafa.
I mean, Rafa's the younger guy by 12 years. 12-year age difference. We we don't see that often, but usually when we do, I was going to say the younger guy usually gets it done, but sometimes the older guy shows out. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, Garcia's just coming off a bad run as well. Obviously, there was the KO against Grant Dawson, I think it was.
Yeah, Grant
Um,
Dawson. He lost to Grant
yeah,
Dawson. That's it.
yeah. And then he obviously the year before that he beat Clay Guida. So the guy's only fought twice in 2 years. So there's a little bit of experience. But same with Vince. Same with Vince. Vince has kind of only had one fight last year. And I'm not sure he fought in 23. I don't know. So both of these guys are kind of like no. Um, they've not been in the cage a lot to keep going. But does youth win out on this one, or does age show that there's levels? Do you know what I mean? It's gonna be one of those fights.
Yeah, I just don't feel, I feel that there's a curve at which there's an age at which you're at your prime, right? You're at your peak. To me, that's
Mm,
around like 29, 30 years old. When you have some experience, you've been around the block a little bit, but you're not too old to have sustained a lot of damage, but
yeah,
old enough to be experienced and execute like you want to. And then there's that age like around 37, 38 years old where you're like, yeah, maybe it's time to hang them up. Things start getting slow, reaction times, the ability for your body to recover after fights and even just after a punch or after a kick is
yeah,
severely diminished. And then you get to like the fucking 42-year-olds when you're like, what are you doing, bro? Like you're one punch away from like a hospital visit, permanent injury. So to me, it's just crazy that some dude at 42 years old is still fighting professionally inside the octagon. But, we've had the George Foremans in the world who went back at professional boxing in 42s. And we just saw last week Jan Blachowicz
yeah.
really give Olberg a run for his money. And I think some people
Well,
said that Jan
controversial.
won that fight.
Well,
So
I was just going to say, yeah, controversial decision there. It looked like the 41-year-old Yang. In a lot of people's eyes, and even people that I know that were rooting for Carlos and even had money on Carlos, even they said, "I feel like Yang won that fight." So it's another controversial loss on Yang's record. You know what I mean? But yeah, some people just show that age doesn't matter. Look at Glover. I always go back to that when we talk about older fighters. Glover won the belt.
there's another
I
one.
think
Yep.
he was 42, 43. You know what I mean? So yeah, this is going to be one. I think this one goes the distance. I think both guys are pretty durable. Although Garcia did get knocked out in his last one, but it was 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So maybe his chin will hold up this time. But this one should be a decent back and forth. I think this might be the first decision of the night.
Yeah, I
What
agree
about
with you. I think there's going to be a decision pick as well.
what about you, Fu?
I'm rock with I'm gonna rock with the guy from Hell, man. You know, he's an underdog. He's durable. I feel like still got shit to prove at that age. I'm gonna rock with Vince, man. I feel like he's a dog. He's a warrior. You know, he's fucking banger. Mexico, the crowd might bring something out of him. You know, I don't know, man. I'm not too sold on Rafa. You know, obviously like he's Mexican. It's like it's crazy because this card, man. I'm like anti-Mexican. This card. I don't know how it happened, but how my picks are mostly not the Mexican fighters winning. So yeah, it'll be he's
Ismael
super
can
heavy favorite.
keep it standing.
Yeah, it'll stay standing, man.
Yeah, it's gonna be a standing.
It'll go all the way. It'll be a war. Damn, I don't know, man. But yeah, I'm gonna rock with Vince here. He's super underdog, so hopefully that lights a fire on under.
I mean, Garcia's got like 3.3 takedowns per fight. That's a huge output for grapplers.
Yeah.
I mean, he might go to the ground at some point. You know, I mean, maybe towards the end of the round, you know, if Vince starts landing the good shots.
But that altitude, like, if it doesn't work in the first rounds, you're probably gonna have to ditch that because that shit fucks with your cardio too. Like, you gotta be on top.
That's another thing.
So, like, if he stuffs that, there's a chance. But I feel like, yeah, he has an underdog's chance for sure, man. And yeah, I'm gonna rock with the veteran.
I think he certainly has a better chance that like the odds are giving him, right? Rafa came in as a minus 485 favorite.
Yeah.
You know,
well, Rafa's 5'7". Rafa's 5'7". Vince is 5'10", and he's got like a 2-inch reach advantage. So,
bro, you guys want to know? Do you know what the elevation is at Mexico City?
Well, like 10,000 feet or some shit like that.
It's like 7,300 feet, bro.
Wow.
Bro, they're basically fighting on the top of a mountain.
I'm getting lightheaded just hearing that shit. Fucking hell.
So yeah, that grappling can go both ways, right?
Yeah.
Grappling and tire Vince out. So, you know, this might be a reason why there's going to be so many knockouts and finishes. People just won't be able to hang with the altitude here.
So the next UK card, I'm making sure it's on top of a mountain. Do you know? We gotta do it on Snowdonia or something.
What's your highest mountain that you guys got?
I think it's Snowdonia in Wales. I'm not too good on geography, but I think it's Snowdonia.
How tall is it?
I don't fucking know. It's like, tall.
I just don't picture like mountains in the UK.
No, we've got a few. They're not like your guys' mountains, you know what I mean? But we've definitely got a few, yeah.
Next up, we got Lupi Godinez versus Julia Polistri. Lupe Godinez, she's a moderate favorite on this one, a minus 218. And honestly, I think the odds are pretty right on with this fight. It's a test for Lupe though, right? Isn't she coming off a couple losses lately?
Yeah.
So, you know, she's got to get her shit together and start producing some wins, because the worst thing you want to do is get on a 3-fight losing streak. And so she lost to Mackenzie Dern, to Virna Jandiroba. So, you know, here's an opportunity to right the ship. I think she does it. I think she does it by decision.
Yeah, that's how I'm rocking as well. I mean, although, like you say, Polastri, I don't know how to say the last name. Like, this is where I start turning it to Chael Sonnen. You know, she looked good against Corey McKenna last time out, and a lot of people were rooting for Corey on that one. You know, and she don't want to say dominated, but she did. You know what I mean? And so yeah, it's a tough fight for Lupi, and like you say, she's got a lot to prove for this one. This might be a fight for a contract, for her to stay in the UFC. Do you know what I mean? So she's going to have to go all out.
Yeah, she's got the experience.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah. But yeah, exactly the same. I always pick decisions with the women fights, although that went wrong on the last Apex card, though, didn't it? You know what I mean? So, 2 female knockouts
back-to-back female knockouts. That's crazy. Yeah.
Fucking hell, man. They proved us wrong with that one.
I know fool's running with Godinez.
Yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
man, you guys got me wrong. This is my lock of the week, bro.
Oh,
Damn.
Julia Pilastri is gonna go into Mexico and upset Lupi Godinez, one of my
That's some
favorite fighters.
bullshit.
One of my
That's some
favorite fighters.
bullshit. You're
She's
bullshitting right now.
more, bro. Everybody that Lupe has fought has been they're just good at one thing, you know. They're not well rounded. This chick is good at everything, bro. Her striking, her grappling, everything. She's this girl's the truth, man. I'm excited to watch Julia fight against Lupi too, because Lupi's gonna get a real test. I know Lupi's a scrapper, and I see a decision going here. I think it's gonna be a good fight though, because they're both gonna scrap. Watch, but I think
Damn.
Julia's gonna she's I don't know why she's underdog, to be honest, but I think we know it's Lupi and she's at home, but I was really excited for this fight, but I've been leaning towards Julia too. Like I've been, yeah, dude, she's good, man. She's so well rounded. I'm excited for this fight. I want to see if Lupita can do something, you know, to because she fought strikers and everything. Yeah.
I'm mind blown right now, bro. I thought for facts you
I
were going
did.
Lupi.
That was like
And
the biggest
that threw me
curveball.
off, bro. Wow. And
I've
it was
never,
your lock of the week, man, bro. That
I've never, I have never gone against Lupi like in any since she started fighting and shit. So it was kind of weird, but yeah, man, I don't know. I see.
At least if you're wrong with the lock in the week and Loopy wins, you still feel good about yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because the Mexican fighter wins, you know.
Yeah, that's a win-win. But bro, you got me shook on that one. Good shit. Next up, I think's gonna be a fucking banger, bro. Christian
Yes.
Rodriguez, the fucking zero taker versus Melquizael Costa. This is a banger of a fight too, bro. I was going
At
both
least
ways.
Costa hasn't got a zero to lose. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's safe. Uh, well, who you got, fool? I want you to go on this one first. Fucking
You want
still
me to go
shook
again?
on the last one. Yeah, I don't want to be surprised again like that.
This one too, man. I had trouble because fucking Milk, dude. He's hard to bet against. Like, but I've been watching him. Not even bet, bro. He's hard to pick against. You know, like once you start watching him, you're like, oh, like it feels like he's like just a generic fighter from Brazil that they just throw in there. But like he's really good, man. But C-Rod too, man. C-Rod's been proven that every time that he's an underdog, he's a beast, you know. That's why I think he's favored now, because like everybody's like, no, this kid's the truth. He's been training down in Mexico City for a while, so he's already used to the altitude. He's been out there for like 2 months, I think. This was hard. I like Milk as the underdog, but I gotta rock with C-Rod, man. I'm a big C-Rod fan now. I think he's locking it in. I've been watching him. He looks like he's focused now. I didn't say he wasn't focused before. I think he missed weight, but I think he can actually make a title run. You know, get a few good wins. He's a good guy, man. He's a good grappler. He's Mexican. You know, he's obviously born here, like from Milwaukee, somewhere up north. But yeah, dude, I'm excited for this fight. This is gonna be a really fun fight, dude.
Yeah.
I'm rocking with C-Rod. C-Rod decision.
I like that. What do you got for
Yeah, I kind of echo through there. You know what I mean? Like with the Milk fight, his last fight against Feely, I thought that would go a decision. I thought Feely would get it done with the striking and the in and outs. And man, Costa proved me wrong, and a lot of other people wrong with that one. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then you've got C-Rod, who, like you say, he's always counted out, been put up against undefeated, supposed to be the sacrificial lamb, and then says, "Now, fuck that." You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna do my own thing. Yeah, you know, like, so a lot of the time I thought I've picked against Costa, I've been proved wrong, and then the other times I've picked against C-Rod, I've been proved wrong. So this is a battle of, you know, which one do I want to go with, and which one do I want to be proved? I wouldn't mind which way, either way. I'm going to be proved, but yeah, I think C-Rod, like you say, is getting better and better. You know, and it's going to be a very, very tough fight for Milk, and you know, and to a degree against C-Rod as well. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this one because this one's going to be a banger. 100%.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a great fight too. I think it's going to be fun. I think there's, recency bias going on with Costa
Mm.
and to me, Christian Rodriguez, the level of competition of whom he beat, Isaac Dolgarian, Austin Bashi, Cameron Simon, Raul Rojas, you know, these
Rosas.
are some serious names, right? And so
Yeah.
any disrespect on Christian Rodriguez, you got a big question mark in your head as to what are you thinking, I mean, and then when you look at Costa's resume, you got a win over Andre Fili, who you're like, right? And then Yilan Shah,
Mm.
Austin Lingo, Jose Clayton de Melo. Like, so I just feel like the momentum is with Rodriguez, and he's like faced real competition where Costa has been able to sort of skirt by where he is on mediocre-ish competition. And now he's about to fuck around and find out. Both durable. I think it's going to decision, but I'm giving it to C-Rod.
Yeah.
Decision, all of us, right?
Yeah, I
I
think
think
so.
decision,
I
all of
think
us.
so. Well,
Yeah.
we're
Next,
all agreeing on
next.
this one so far.
Yeah. I don't, you always hate. No, we got one
The
where
loopy.
Yeah.
the loopy one. Um, Next one
Oh
we
yeah.
got Atiba Gautier
Gautier.
versus Jose Daniel Medina. Gautier making his UFC debut. Dude looks like a beast, bro.
He does.
Oh
He
my
does.
God. Break it down, Wolf. We got 10 minutes.
Oh shit. Okay, I'll try and be fast with it. So obviously, I don't know too much about Gautier. I think he's from Cameroon, so he's from the same area as Ngannou.
He looks
Uh,
like Ngannou.
he
Looks
does.
like
I
a
was
mini.
gonna say he could be related to Ngannou. Do you know what I mean? And shit, if that's the case, then maybe we see a vicious knockout right here. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I mean, he's been on a on a tear. He's 6-1. You know what I mean? There's always that. I don't mind it when fighters come into the UFC with one loss because it takes the pressure off. Do you know what I mean? Like people try and use keep the zero. But yeah, I mean, he's pretty much knocked out everyone he's fought. 5 knockouts in a row. Looks like a beast. And then you got Jose Medina, who again, lost the decision to Zachary Reese most recently. Again, he's 11-4, so he's got slightly more experience. But with this one, I might have to go with Gautier on this one. This could be a first round finish.
Full.
Ah, shit. Like, you look at this guy's record. He got it in the Contender Series, right? This is his first official fight in the UFC, let's say. But everything he's done is knockout. He's fighting in Mexico City, dude. So, fuck. If he does not get a knockout in the first round, hey, he's gonna be into dark territory, bro. It's I obviously I want to pick Medina so bad, but like, I mean, you see this a
Medina's
lot
so
with.
bad.
See this one. I'm still like I was thinking about it, but I'm like I'm undecided because I had Gautier like no matter what, like oh he's gonna go in there, this is mini Ngannou, this mini freaking little mini monster right here, they build monsters down there. But I mean, what's the highest? I don't know if he like trains in Cameroon, but the highest altitude there's like 4,000 feet, So where he's gonna be at, it's gonna be a whole different world if he doesn't get the KO, dude. And obviously that's what he's gonna go looking for. Uh, Damn, dude. We want knockouts right in Mexico, but you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna go out on a limb and pick Medina, bro. Fuck it. I think decision, dude. Or if he gasses out, he might even sub him, man. Who knows?
Yeah.
But if it makes it that first round, dude, I can see it getting out the first round. You just gotta have a game plan to survive the first round, and then let the gravity kick in and let the mental game kick in, and it'll do wonders for you. Yeah, let's go Medina. Fuck it. And this is just like a shot in the dark, bro. Just because it's his first fight in the UFC, dude. And
That is not a
Medina's like,
bad call. And for me, it's not a bad call because of the elevation, right?
yeah,
You make a great point that if he doesn't get the knockout in the first round, he's going to start getting into deep waters real fucking quick. And that cardio is going to get tested. I think Medina's cardio is going to be way better in elevation than Gautier's because he's got a lot less muscle to deal with. And that lactic acid is going to start building much faster with Gautier. But Gautier doesn't expend a lot of energy, right? He's got this massive power behind his shots, and that's what he knows he's going to try to deliver. So he's really just sets himself up to either kick you in the face or punch you in the face. He's not trying to grapple you, right? So, but everyone's trying to grapple him, and that's not really how Medina fights. Medina's sort of this reckless dude that just fucking goes a lo loco.
yeah,
So, I could see a first round knockout, but I could also see a Medina fucking sub third
Yeah,
round,
yeah,
you know.
it's
I'm
out.
going with the yeah, I'm going with the Gautier first round knockout.
Yeah,
Uh, that's what makes the most sense to me with Medina's skill set. But yeah, Medina live betting, I'm totally fucking in the books here. If it doesn't look like Gautier is gonna knock him out that first round, get Medina when he's plus money.
yep.
yeah.
And
Like,
you'll be
like,
able to read. You'll be able to read the first round, like oh,
yeah.
he's
Yeah, you'll know.
gonna kill him,
You'll
or
know.
he's gonna yeah,
If,
Or
if
he's gonna
that,
gas out.
once that horn goes for the first round, then it's like, okay, I think we
Yeah.
know this is not a goal now. When Gautier is literally gasping for breath, sweat pouring out of him, and
Bro,
he's
I'm
getting
gonna be
ground.
literally with my phone in my hand, ready to, ready to put in a bet, a live bet on this one
He's
if
got to hear
it's
that. He's got like $20 on Medina.
last but not least, we have Edgar Chairez versus CJ Vergara. I think this is gonna be a really fun fight. Bro, we were just watching your tweet with that fight that Chairez had where he submitted the dude,
Yeah,
took his ass out. Then he almost broke his arm off while he was unconscious because the ref was just on
yeah,
planet fucking Mars for this
yeah.
fight. It was, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but holy shit, bro. Um,
Yo, I messed up. I forgot to put. I did that tweet real quick, and I forgot to put that is Sharia's, and he's fighting this weekend. You know what I mean? So I was like, fuck that. But yeah, I mean that one of the worst referee stoppages I've ever. It wasn't a stoppage. You know what I mean?
yeah, it wasn't
But
even a stoppage.
he's got some slick groundwork. Do you know what I mean? And that triangle was tight because he wasn't his opponent in that clip wasn't even in the triangle for that long. Usually, a triangle takes a while to sink in. But he was in it seconds and he was out. Do you know what I mean? He's got a squeeze on those legs. And Vijera, he's a little dog as well, man. He's a little animal, a little wild thing, And I think there's a reason they put this on the feature prelim. I think they know that this should bang.
It's interesting that you called him a dog, a wild animal, because for me, he's my dog of the week, everyone. I'm telling you, bro.
Oh!
CJ Vergara is going to go in and get it done. He's had a rough patch lately in the UFC, but I think this is a fight where he can capitalize on his KO strength. And, Chairez puts himself in compromising positions. He doesn't have the best strike defense at 42%. That motherfucker gets tagged. So I
Yeah.
see Vergara going out there fighting for his UFC career, trying to make a statement. I think he has all the advantages, and I think he's going to get it done with a second round KO.
That's a good call. What about Fu?
yeah.
What's Fu
I
feeling?
think I feel a submission coming from Chairez, the boy from Mexicali. Guy, you got to rock with Mexico. He's a warrior, man. He fought at the Sphere. He's gonna fight in Mexico City. He's one of the definitions of true fucking Aztec warrior. Puro Mexico way. That heart, that shit that Dana White loves, bro. That everybody loves. That fighter. Like that motherfucker's Mexican. He's one of them guys, and I'm gonna rock with him just because everything is set up for him to win, and I can see him getting a sub, man.
Mm.
Yeah, that'd
Mm.
be interesting, bro. What has? Let me see. Let me take a look here.
Let's get a sub in the second
That's a
round.
great call too, because I mean, Vergara's been subbed twice. You know,
Yeah.
to me, once you get subbed like 2, 3 times, that's an Achilles heel. Once you get knocked out 2, 3 times, you have a compromised chin. So yeah, if Edgar Chairez is going to get a win, I don't think it's going to be by decision. I don't think,
Yeah.
unless he's going to grapple and control the whole time. Vergara is a little too good to be, controlled like that. Um, but yeah, bro, it's gonna be interesting. I just
It'll be a
wonder
fun
if he
fight
can
though.
take the
Fun fight.
onslaught.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. 100%.
And a great reason why they put it as the prelim main card, the prelim to the main card, which is going to be a banger of a fight. We're going to break that one down in part 2 coming up. Shout out to the homies on the chat. Shout out to MTK, West Coast Radio. We out.
Right. Yep.